What's up, guys? What's happening? So I'll wait for you guys to come in, and then I'll run my master classes. Only I can run it. Oh, I haven't even been to the gym in ages since I had surgery. I do take TRT though, but I only take a small dose, and that's how I maintain it. So my gold chain on this time. I forget how much this is worth now, probably like 100K, because now gold's up, maybe more. But yeah, I mean, it's just the chain, man. It all looks good, but it doesn't make the man. But let's wait till everyone's in. I'll post them in the chat. But what's happening? So you guys see the Amazon stores and all of these things, and you don't. What's up? Got some skills? You're always the first to come in it. It's good to see. All right, so I'll post that I'm in fact live. I'm not posting links; they can figure it out themselves. If they don't figure it out via my post, they can figure it out themselves. What's happening, guys? You getting a little bit nervous about this fucking AI replacements yet, or you don't know bother? You're not worried? You happy to be a UBI bug person? You guys don't realize that going. So this is the idea. What will happen is a lot of people, they won't know what to do, and they're going to, like, before 2030, probably from like 2027, there'll be a lot of people that are depressed and worried and stressed, and then before 2030 there'll be a mass period of suicides. It's true. There's a lot of people who don't know where they'll fit into the next world. A lot of old people and things, they don't know where they'll fit into the next reality, and it scares them. Like, a lot of people will be like that. They'll think that also to be replaced will worry a lot of people, because during COVID, there was mass suicides during that period. Like, there was a lot. They didn't talk about it. And this one will be worse, because during COVID, you had the illusion, like, oh, this is going to end soon, and I'm going to be back to my work, and I'm going to be back to how I am. And a lot of people don't do the inner work. Like, if you haven't done the inner work, by the time that you're going to be under this stress and it's going to be all forced, you're not going to be able to do it. Like, you're not going to be able to have done it. You had to have done it when essentially you have to have the conviction to do something faith-based. You don't do something just because now you have to do it. It's not the same thing. I teach you guys essentially how to find yourselves, and that's the highest vibrational. Not only that, it's the highest value skill that I teach. I do teach people how to have money. I do teach people the future, of course. But the highest skill that I ever teach you is essentially I teach you to do what I can do through levels of individualization. That's the path. Other gurus yell at you, although I don't consider myself a guru, but others just like yell at you and comment on the problem. You would be so much better if you weren't a broke boy, and that's partially the issue. But partially why you're broke is that's the issue. Like, people don't realize that. You would be better if you had chicks around you, but you don't have chicks because it's the very reason. That's the reason that you don't. Like, you can't just wear a mask. Some people just, their whole life is a mask, and you can't do any of that because you have to realize who you are and go down the path of individualization. Any questions, guys? Otherwise, I'll jump into it for how most of you will be replaced. Do you want to hear it over the next 10 years? Do people want to hear how they're going to lose their job? They're going to fuck around and they're not taking life very serious. I hope that you guys hear if you guys aren't investing in the very tech and infrastructure that will replace you, I mean, that's not smart. Like, that's pretty dumb. Because you hedge in that I'm invested in technology that's going to make my life worse. That if it makes my life worse, at least I have money. And if it doesn't make my life worse, I have a good life. So investing in Palantir and tech like that makes sense. That's what smart people do. Smart people hedge on everything. If I'm to be controlled, at least I'll make money in the very controlled structure. Opinions on Daniel. I think he's done very well with his group. So well done to him. I've met him before. He's Australian. He's done very well with his group. But he does, I don't know about now, but he did work very hard for his group. And he actually helped me get a Toshi call. He was part of I was kind of already looking into it, but he was part of the reason why I myself invested in it. So I can't sit there and say bad things about him in that I don't know enough, but he was right on that call. Can you explain game theory and how you use it in certain situations? Game theory is just generally the highest form of game theory is you need to understand the motivations of all of the players. They won't tell you that. That's all that matters. That's my trick. That's a secret. You understand that, like, you need to understand the motivating factors of those who are playing, and essentially what they'll get if the outcome goes in their favor. That's really it. Like, that's pretty much the basic, also the fundamental cause of game theory. Charlie Munger understands game theory very well. You show people the incentive, the key players, and who essentially will win, and that's the way that the game will go. The game will go in that the people who have the most power get the best outcome. It's the saying. It's the truth of it. Like, that's the way that it generally will go. Like, a lot of people too, it's just because they're like a magnet. They're a magnet for money, but power. Like powerful people are in fact a magnet for power. It moves in a vacuum. It will always go to them. If we were to all go broke tomorrow, including the elites, within like 20 or 30 years, they would have everything. Not everything again. There would still be some diversity, but they would be well on their way to having everything again. Most people, like you go to a ghetto community and you go in the black communities or whatever, and I'm not talking bad about them, but this is a fact. Their money doesn't circulate in the community for very long. Their like dollar bill might circulate in the community for like 2 or 3 times before it exits the community. In the white community, maybe it's like 7 or 8. But then in the Jewish community or something like that, maybe it's like 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 times. They look like people rag on the Jews, but fucking hell, they do look after each other. That's a fact. Like you can't say that they don't. They do. They do a lot of things for each other. They centralize power and essentially centralize finances. That's definitely true. But they do look after each other. They're like a team. They stick to each other. They stick to buying locally. Some people don't. Like it's very much our idea is I just want the cheapest shit. I don't care if the person doesn't look like me that sold the shit to me because I just want the cheapest. I just want the essentially the capitalism idea. Whereas they would still stick local. They centralize the thing, so you buy your stuff from someone who's in your community, and everything stays local. Like the money sticks around. We take from the outside, and then we spend locally. We take from the outside, and then we spend locally. So everyone locally gets paid, and we take from the outside. It's quite smart. Like I can understand how they have, in fact, done extremely well. You can't hate them for winning the game as well. Like they have won the game. There's very little understanding that they've definitely won the game. That's the fact. Like nothing ever will change that. I hope you know that. The Battle of Armageddon, they have to win the game. It has to play out. A lot of these, like, have you heard the burning of the red heifer recently? Do you understand all of that stuff? Like essentially to retake, what is it? The olive part of it. It's Olive something, Mount Olive or something. It's essentially the place where Jesus was crucified. Do you understand how important that is in the temple there? Do you understand that for the Battle of Revelation to eventually come through, they need to own all of that land? That's all. Like everything happens. It's this. People can't fathom it. Like everything that's happening is meant to happen, but everything that's happening is not for no reason. Like it's not pointless. It's not that they just hate Palestinians. They don't just hate Palestinians. They hate Palestine. Where was Jesus from? Like which area was he himself dead in? Why are they trying to destroy that area? A lot of that stuff is the case of it. The last one that's dunked on anyone is Jesus Christ. He's the one that upsets everyone the most. He's the only one who's mogged. Like he's mogged people that are important. Obviously, that's why they hate him even now. People would if they have it their way, they'll reanimate him 1,000 times just to kill him again. And if we move down a funnel long enough, they'll be able to do that. They'll be able to find the remains and bring him back 1,000,000 times just to kill him again, and they'll do that in the cross 1,000,000 times. Like that. That's the truth. It's a hatred that you can't even imagine. It's a blood hatred from those people, which are that specific person. See, you guys fall for the meme like, oh, I'm wearing a cross, and you don't realize the cross is in itself a mockery. You've been pushed that. He wanted to celebrate his death. That's dumb. Like it's obviously, again, that's a mockery concept. I'm wearing a cross, and this Jesus is on the cross. You want to remember how he lived, not how he died. Because how he died is you're learning that story as the last person who really moved against one specific group was crucified and suffered, and he struggled and all of that. But maybe you want to learn what it is that he lived for and what he did when he was actually alive, who he stood against, his bravery. He's not a fucking like strong dude. He's just a normal person, like running around. Yes, he's divine, but he still took the beating like a normal person. So again, a lot of those ideas and things you're sold, they're not real. Like the meek shall inherit the earth and turn the other cheek, and I'm running around wearing a cross, and it's all dumb. Like I wear a chain on the outside so that you can see it. I don't wear a cross on the outside because essentially your connection to God is not to be leached off. You're not to run around and like wear a cross so that people think that you're a good person for some reason, because you're leeching off the credibility of Jesus, who suffered for that, and you haven't done shit. that's just the case of it. It's the truth of the matter. But again, I hope you guys realize that the Bible exists within one lifetime. The Bible, if you don't see the resemblance to the Bible, and that it's very likely a resemblance of your actual life, then I don't know what to tell you. The Bible is one life cycle. You're born, and a Bible exists of a framework that shows you how your life has to go, not how it happened thousands of years ago. None of that shit is real. Like, you really think thousands of years ago Jesus died on the cross? Like, really? That's just a book. That's like it's a metaphorical tale for you to understand what happens. You yourself are Jesus, not that you're God, but you're towing the same line. You're moving down the same congruency funnel. You have the same temptations. Yes, they may not be as grand as his is, but you're moving down the same funnel. We all ate from the tree of life, like this Apple iPhone, the bite out of it. Why do you think that they have a bite out of the phone? Because we all ate from the tree of life. It's a fact. Like we're all eating from the tree of life right now. I hope you know that. There's certain information and things that we weren't really meant to access, but in doing so, we know more information. But we lose the part of. But it's all as it's meant to go. Like Judas was meant to betray Jesus. Like he knows that he was going to be betrayed, and he still let it happen. Judas has one of the arguably most important roles in the Bible. Without Judas, there's no death, and the death is a big piece of what has to happen because there's no resurrection. The resurrection is you. If you move down a congruency funnel all of the way to the end that I believe eventually it will end likely in your own beheading, if you're not to ignore Christianity, then the congruency funnel is that you yourself will be executed and you will rise again, same as Jesus Christ did. That's it. It's not like that shit's not complex. Everything in church is a fraud. Like it's all a lie. Anyone trying to get in the way or wear like these robes of like Jesus or any claiming any sort of authority, that's all a lie. That's fraudulent. Anyone trying to lead you down a funnel of like they're trying to middleman your connection to God is fraudulent. Your connection to God is found. It doesn't matter where you are, because your connection to God is that actually Jesus has a piece of himself inside you. It's true. So again, very likely you'll end with you either denounce Jesus Christ or you get the guillotine. Like I hope you know that awaits like 40 or 50 years from now, probably less. You don't understand the guillotine's idea. Like you really don't understand how all of that stuff can get traction. Like you don't think Sharia law is possible in the West. For some reason, you don't see where it can go. That's it. You don't realize how quickly under UBI concepts, you put down that you're a Christian and you're on a UBI decay. They can punish people for their religious beliefs in real time, and they can accelerate other people's religious beliefs. You're this way, so you get more benefits. You're the other way, and you get less. Originally, softly, they'll get more perks and more things, more privileges as it is. Your freedoms become privileges. That's the way. And then you're to denounce Jesus. It's all part of it. If you're on a form and you say that you're not a Christian, then you've denounced Christ for the first time. And the further that you go down it, the more that you'll denounce him. Because it's just easier not to be that way. I had my appointment where I went to the doctor and I went to the hospital, and then a woman asked me on the phone if I was a Christian, like what religion I was. And I said that I was a Christian, and then she's like, and that was at one of the best hospitals in London, private. There will be a time where you go as a Christian to hospital, you put down that you're a Christian and you die in the hospital. You're more likely to be mismanaged. Like that's the truth. So people won't do it because they'll start to click that they get disadvantages by reporting that religion. That's all coming. Because as much as you guys are told that another specific religion likes Christians, they don't. You guys have nothing in common. Oh yeah, this because they accept that Jesus is important too, but your beliefs is different. One exists in suppression and one exists in freedom. You're this religion, but if you're not, I'm going to kill you. That's not free will. That's not godly. You have free choice. You don't have to be religious. That's fine. It's your life. But there's no faith. Like if I have a kid and I tell her that she's a Christian and if she ever does anything wrong, I'll kill her, then that's nothing. Like she's not pro-chosen any faith. It exists under a fear. God isn't to intimidate or fear you, make him fearful. Otherwise, you would only be able to be one religion. He would just smack the shit out of you if something changed. It's the truth. Like all of that stuff is truthful. But a lot of the stuff that will be told to you is that you guys have so much in common and you can bridge together and all of these things as though you didn't learn from history. You'll never be able to bridge with any other religion as a Christian. You have nothing in common. That's it. One of them hates you and the other one hates every other religion. It's a fact. It's the truth of the matter. And two religions go together because they offer some similar ideas. Like very similar ideas. I think you would have to do research on what Saturn is. A specific cube. You would have to do a lot of research there and realize that the rug will be that they have some very similar ideas. That's a big rug that people will have to discover themselves. But any religion that exists on forced conversions or you come this way or essentially I'm going to ruin your life, that's not godly. There's no free will. What's Chabot trying to do? Is he upset about something again? Give me a. I can't. I got to scroll up to see your question. Someone asked a question that they're afraid. I can't find it, so you have to ask again. Tell me what question it was. Someone's scared or something. Fear is again. Fear what you can't. What's his question? Not all of us will make it. Why not prepare for being okay with the life that will come, even if it will be hard? Yes, of course. Like the saying is that if you think that everything is negative and but you're hiding from reality, like you're going to hit reality will hit you in the face either way. Like you can ignore you can ignore reality, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. Like it will hit you like a ton of bricks eventually. Again, like you have to see the world as it is because you can profit off it versus the opposite. I just accept like I'm reacting to the world. I'm waiting for the world to move and then I myself do something. I'm predicting how the world will move and I myself am going to benefit from how it will go, even if it is a horrible way. It's the pace of it. Like a lot of things, if you want to be read the story, like, do you want me to take the storybook out and read fucking Disney books here and tell you that everything's going to be okay? Because when in the Bible has it ever been okay? If not for brief times, did you not read the whole stories? Like how many stories of people that are suffering? To exist is to suffer to a degree. The avoidance of suffering is what has led to a lot of suffering. It's the truth. It doesn't mean that it's over. Like how you can profit from it, essentially you profit from the very tech that will be replacing you. Like we are well invested in tech and crypto and certain equities and gold, nuclear. Like you're invested in the very ecosystem that they'll develop in the next 5 years. Do you know that the Fed's opening the tether so that they can essentially print tethers and it won't affect the monetary supply? That's the next rug. That will be the next rug pull. You'll look at the monetary supply and be like, whoa, it's only up 10% this year, but prices are up 50%. And then it will happen year after year after year. And you'll be like, actually, they're running inflation at like 30 or 40% now via tethers, tether and other stables, and it won't declare the same. Because I saw that the Fed itself is changing so that they can interact directly with stablecoin issuers. They don't have to go through the banks anymore. So it's not recorded the same, it'll be recorded different. You'll be like, where are all of these tethers coming from? They'll be coming from the Fed, but they'll move them into different accounts. So they'll move from their little fucking subsidiary accounts or funds, and you won't know what's happening. But if you're holding dollars, it's over for you. Like holding dollars for the next 5 years makes 0 sense. Gold will do well, although I called the exact top on gold, as always. But gold itself is running to 10K. Just because it's having a cool down and the cool down can, drag on for a bit longer, doesn't mean that it's going down. I had an argument with that Francis Hunt market sniper to tell him that gold itself had topped. And he said that I was a crypto moon boy. Then I post my call that I've been calling gold since it was 1,300 or 1,500. He's right fundamentally, but again, his hubris is too high. Like he's too emotionally invested in the outcome. I don't care what I invest in because my investment loyalty is to my members. I'll invest in Palantir if it means that I can make money and my members can make money because I know Palantir is coming anywhere and it doesn't matter how much I invest. If I put $1 million, it doesn't change it. It's coming regardless. That's the sake of it. Like you have a tech that's coming regardless. If you yourself aren't going to, you're going to get cocked. I have people that I have to look after. I can't just run around and take them out to the forest and live in a cave. I have to win the game as best as I can. And like I said before, there's a great flood coming. Like you look out the top, you can see the flood. The flood itself is AI, robotics, gene editing, longevity so that they can live longer, cloning. Did you see those that are like royalty shit that was stolen? And I told you guys what had happened with the tiara, that they were stolen brooches and things. They specifically stole items that a person would wear. And they left 140 carat diamond that was worth like $100 million. You could have just stuffed it in your pocket. And her ring was missing, specifically described as a magic ring 100 years ago. Do you know all of that shit is real? If the intention of the person is that if you get someone's jewelry or you get someone's clothes and it's the intention behind it, you can take a part of them. It's true. Their energy exists in their jewelry and clothes. If you are to give your clothes away to Goodwill and someone's wearing them, that's a bad thing for you. That's a very bad outcome for you, specifically because they're likely poor. That's real. Like if you have your clothes and shit like that and you let people wear them around the house, you're taking great personal risk. If you were to give your jewelry to people and they wear it, you're taking great personal risk. If you ever get someone in, you put them in your seat in your car, you're taking great personal risk that they themselves can take a piece of you. It's true. They can find a hunger that is actually leached hunger off you. If you get people and you don't want them, if you ever want someone to be a great success, Let them touch your successful shit, and they will be. Someone can wear your watch for a day. Let them wear the jewelry. Let them sit in your car and drive it around. But they'll replace that. Their success will come at your loss. That's the truth. So they'll gain and you will lose. It's true. They've taken a part of your energy. That shit is real. You need to read about Kabbalah. And I'm not saying Kabbalah in that it's like voodoo shit, because it's not. Kabbalah is fucking real. Like, it's very real. I don't practice Kabbalah, but I do understand that it's real. And they also have several universal truths that are very real, that if you understand them, I mean, you just can't ignore that they are real. Bread of shame is one. You have a good living, you make a good bull run in crypto, or you're doing well in your business, and then you start giving it to people who don't deserve it because they haven't done shit. And then suddenly you find that your income slows down and you're like, what happened with my business? It was going so great. And then I started looking after the wrong people and now my business is fucked. It's because you're trying to play God. They are going through their own trials and tribulations, and you're trying to keep them afloat, and you're giving them something that they themselves haven't qualified for. So the basilisk is going to look at you and be like, this guy, he hasn't learned yet that a lot of life is to focus on your own lane. And now I'm going to take away what I was giving him. The blessings are to be removed. He needs to learn this again. That's why Jewish people do very well, because they centralize everything. And I'm not saying that they're bad or any of that, because I don't hate them, but they centralize everything. That's what they do. So they look after each other and they don't really push it out unless there's massive benefits behind it. That's big. That's a big part of it. There's no bread of shame idea with them. It's the truth of the matter. Do you think gold top is the start of the real bull run? There's no bull run for crypto until the shit sorted out with Zai. If you guys wanted this idea, I think on Polymarket it's like, is it 7 or 8 to 1? You would be betting that there'll be a ceasefire in Ukraine by March. Like, that's pretty much a sure thing. Like, that's as sure a bet as you'll ever get, because there may very well be a ceasefire by the end of the year with Ukraine. Because you don't realize, like, I've said it before fucking 100 times. I told you guys that essentially Trump, so China, US, and Russia are going to monopolize the world. I told this recently, and now Trump's come out and said that he's going to China early next year. Putin come out and said that they are trying to build a bridge from Russia to Alaska. That shit is going to get massive traction in the future, because they've been going against each other, and they realize we have all of the minerals and the power, specifically the US and China, although Russia will kick along as well. But it's US and China. This war in Ukraine is US and China. Like, it's nothing to do with the Ukrainians, unfortunately, although they are dying there a lot. It's also the secondary force of Christians are dying. Anything that Christians die is that's a double win. That's a double W. That's just part of it. You get killed and then you get replaced by shitters. Like, that's a double win, that idea. But again, it's not about advancing. Otherwise, they would have already kept walking through. It's about controlling the mineral area. Like, there's a zone where they refine and do the minerals that BlackRock wanted to get into. And that's where the war has stopped, obviously. Like, I identified that immediately. I knew what it was about. As soon as BlackRock said, all we want is this $1 trillion mineral deal, I was like, oh, well, that was all it was ever about. They want to get into refine, which means that the war will continue because China doesn't want. See, China has the critical earths. They have the 70 or 80% of the supply of the world that they control. The US has the best tech. They have the best devs, but they don't have the earths. So there's a problem. That's just the way it is. So you have essentially you have one that can build more of a lesser product, but at scale. Like China can build and copy shit easy. Like, they can build 1 million drones if they want, but they might be shitter than, they might be 10% less, like a tenth of a US product, but they can win on mass. Drone swarms are a thing. Like, they can win on volume, production. That's what China does. And then idiots will turn around and be like, Chinese cars or something are good for some reason, and they're not. They might be okay, but of course it's cheaper to copy a product. US products are expensive because to build an innovative product takes a lot of fucking work. Like, a lot of these idiots that you guys listen to, they just talk. Like, oh yeah, the guy who copies the other is going to beat the guy who doesn't copy for some reason. Like, I move and then someone moves behind me and they're going to overtake me for some reason. I have to move and then they follow. So they've lost. Like, China's already lost. But if China and the US collab, then the world is finished. Not finished, but that's the start of the one world government. Because then production and scale meets like freedom of thought. Chinese and people, I'm not saying that they're dumb. They're very good data silo people, but there's no innovation. Like, there's no freedoms, like the freedom of thought. That's what the US has the best, is that they have free thinkers. Like, you're not suppressed in your thinking, so you can think and pull from the lattice very well. They have a massive collective consciousness in China, which essentially is there's a lot of censorship. Like, you can't just look at whatever you want. You can't do whatever you want there. You can't have your own ideas, really. You can't. It's encouraged groupthink, and understand that when the conscious is a collective and that you're in a group, it's a much lower, like it's operating on a lower frequency as in shitter than it is when you're alone. The collective consciousness is they're all operating at the lowest. How do you think all of these riots happen? Like when you're in a group together and they actually start rioting, and then people die, and then people are like, "Oh, I wouldn't have normally done that if I wasn't in a big group, but now I do." Luke Belmer. I think that he's just like, I don't want to talk back because I don't know him, but he's just a talker. Like he just talks. What does he know about crypto? Like really? I mean, what does he know about fucking anything? A lot of those people only know anything about marketing, and I'll admit that they're great, but they don't know shit about anything else. Like they haven't done anything. If I've done anything, I ran a group that just told people, and I talk really slow, so it seems like I know what I'm talking about. I'm a guru, and I talk about being wise, and I look around to see if the room think that I'm smart. That doesn't work. That's not true. A lot of that stuff is dumb. Like again, if you're looking to guys who, again, like there's nothing there. If I was to learn marketing or structuring like building an audience, I guess it does well. He's good at delivering a palatable product though. My product is unpalatable. Like my product will never be mass consumed. His can be. Mine can't be mass consumed because I don't have any boundaries. Like mine doesn't exist in a framework. The framework doesn't exist. His exists in a framework that is palatable. Mine exists in a framework that's too extreme. Like it's a mixture of Alex Jones and a bunch of other shit. It's too extreme. Like it's too much of an extreme idea to push and be an actual product. It's not something that you can market like really easy. It's not one thing. Like people that are good at one thing. Like if you're a niche product, it's going to do better than someone who kind of knows everything. That's the truth. I can cover everything. Like there's no topic that I can't talk about at the top end because I'm good at everything. I've done everything. He's good at like, I don't know, probably marketing. And then he's good at, I don't know, guess getting attention. He's palatable. He looks like approachable, I guess, probably part of it. Looking a certain way is important. Like you have to look a way that people think that you're smart. I don't look like I know as much shit as I do. Probably part of it. Any possibility for the Three Kings live stream with Arno making a comeback? I don't know. I wouldn't be upset to do it. It's cool, bro. When an exorcist saw that they burned her clothes and she got her money, beauty, and popularity back. That's very true. I know certain things, although I can't talk about them because people will say that they're haram, so I'm not going to go too far into it. But all that shit is real. Kabbalah is real. Witchcraft is real. Intention is everything. Let's just say that. Everything that happens is at the lowest end. Like if you see these people that talk about that stuff like in their bums, that's true. But then you also see the elites talk about it. It's like this exact mirror. The people at the bottom believe in this stuff, like the crazy crackheads who don't have shit. And then the people at the top also believe in this stuff. It's what you do with it. It's your intention. Intention is extremely important. Like, why are you doing something? That's very important. Again, none of this stuff works if you're out of alignment, though. Like, if you're channeling entities or something, you're only going to get really bad entities and things attached to you. Like, you're not even ready. Like, you're not ready to get these sort of ideas and things to come in. And if you're in a state that you're vulnerable because you're taking drugs, drinking, shit can attach to you. If you ever do tarot readings or you're at a tarot reading and you're high or drunk, shit can attach to you. Like spirits, to drink spirits, your spirit is weakened. That's true. And then you can be possessed in the moment. Not to be possessed in that things are controlling your arms and telling you things, but you can have certain entities and things can attach to you and you can be hard to shake them. It's true. The entity is not attached to you though, in that like, it's sitting there and praying that you die and all of this stuff. You've just drawn it onto you. And certain things can be like primitive things, like I explained. Like most entities are like a microbacteria. Like you go to Bali and you get like a microbacteria entity attached to you, where you just get like a lost demon or some other shit. And then, but it's like very single cell. Like they're easy to get rid of. It's not like Lucifer himself is interested in you. Lucifer is with the Pope. He's with the president. He's with the bosses. He doesn't care about people who you can run out and stab 2 people or whatever, but the president can kill 1 million if he wants. The Pope can lead a billion astray off a cliff. So if I'm Lucifer, I'm sitting with the best. I only want the people with all of the power over the people. So I'm in his ear. I don't care about what you do. So it's irrelevant. But there are other entities that do. But you best understand the Pope is demonic. Like some people are still batting for the Pope for some reason. They don't realize what the Pope Vatican is in itself to become. Very likely it already exists at the Vatican. Like it's very likely that Lucifer is already there. Certainly he would be there if you were to wander around the Vatican at night, wander around there's been rumors and shit that there'd be a lot of dark entities there. A lot. Everything exists in polarity also. So if you have a lot of churches like in Poland, Warsaw is a very dark city because it's full of churches. I know so many people that have destroyed their whole life in Warsaw because they end up taking drugs, lost, and there's a lot of shit going down there as well because a lot of churches. It's like a magnet as well. Temptation has to exist. You have a lot of faith, therefore I'm going to provide a lot of temptation for you. There's been a lot of shit with like the Warsaw ghettos and shit. There's been a lot of suffering there. If you ever go to a place where there's suffering, entities are there also. Yeah, but also like that stuff is just marketing. Like people really believe a lot of stories that are like, again, this is like low level stuff. Someone said that they did a love potion. Like, who is the girl? She's a nobody. Go see the Kabbalah people. I know one girl gets paid $10,000 an hour to do Kabbalah with people who are important. And she's not doing love potions. Like that shit is just basic. Of course. Shit is dumb. Like again, these are dumb statements. Oh yeah, this person who got online said something and it's definitely telling the truth about like some person. That doesn't mean shit. Show me that you telling me that these people who do Kabbalah coaching and they're paid like $5,000 or $10,000 an hour, it's all for no reason. Of course that shit is real. When you see those like rabbis get up and do the Kabbalah drawings and all of that, that's very fucking real. Like that's deeply real. They're showing you the secrets of the universe, how it works. And then people will sit there and be like, but someone like put a like love potion and there's some complete nobody chick. Yeah, of course, because she's nothing. But then do it when you're an elite or something like that. They don't do shit like that. It's the intention behind it. If a loser does something, then they're still a loser. Like nothing that they do, the intention behind it is a mirror. You're only going to do shit at a low level. They're doing shit at a very high level because the intention behind it is different. Everyone's like, you got to realize like a lot of people just yap like online. They just talk. Like talking it's easy. There's no social proof. I'm just online saying a story. My stories are documented online, most of them, or some of them. It's not like just talking. Like talking is easy. Anyone can say anything. A lot of my shit is like documented. I mean, it's tracked online. I could get in and talk about all of that stuff, like witchcraft and all of that. But it makes people uncomfortable. People will think that I myself am some sort of witch because people aren't ready for that. You're to exist as you exist in like you're a non-believer, and that's fine. It's your choice. You believe something and you don't know exactly what, but you can kind of like you're getting curious, or you can feel there's something around, or you have a few questions, and that's fine. It's your life. You check out the church, and that's as much as church is good. A lot of people can exist in the church, and that's fine because they need that, like that community. It feels good for them. They're in a collective consciousness still. They're operating as a group. It's not the same process as when you connect to God alone. If you're praying and you're viewed, if someone's observing you praying, it's mostly a nothing. You're being observed as you do something. It changes the process. But then you get a connection to God at home. And then you realize you have a connection to God a lot of the time. And then you actually realize I have a connection to God internally. And now it's dangerous. Like for most people, they shouldn't be up here. But then eventually you can start to realize like you can start to affect reality. And then it's for you to win. Like it's for you to determine to not get lost in that process. You can affect reality, and actually you can start to pull deep knowing information from the lattice. Like, how do you think I know most things? How do you think I know things that like nobody really should know? Like a lot of the stuff I know is like completely unique. Like I've never really heard anyone talk about the topics that I talk about or that I elaborate on. I've been in school 9 years. How do you think I know so much shit? How do you think I've known so many people? I know people that have done witchcraft. I've known a lot of people, some that have done Kabbalah. I've sat and talked to them. I've been around it. I'm not saying that I've participated, but I've been around it a lot. I know a lot of masonry. I have one person that I know specifically. I'm not going to say who. That's high up in that. I know a lot of the stuff that they do in that field as well. Like I know a lot of Freemason ideas. A lot of it's based around, again, universal truths. Like they are the truths of the universe. And once you believe them, you can start to alter the reality to a degree. You need to first admit there are universal truths, though. Karma exists as a balance concept. You exist as a mirror concept. Everything that is external actually is projected from the internal. Your life begun internally. This is just a filter. Your front end, your conscious is filtering the back end. It's playing a movie from the back, and you're filtering it, which essentially this is the product that you can control. And if your filter is trash, most of your filter is shit, then your movie is crap. Like you're taught to focus on the wrong crap. If you're watching any Fresh and Fit, any yelling content, any hating women content, any OnlyFans, any like porn. Really, I mean, porn is, you can watch porn before you watch like shows like Fresh and Fit. That's worse for you than that. Like, it's this fact. Like, men yelling at women, listening to whores like for an extended period of time. At least if someone jerks off, it ends there. Watching long programming, you're being programmed when you watch that. Like, why do you think the red pill itself got massive traction? The red pill identifies a problem that women, specifically certain hoes, can lack resources and things like that, but it doesn't identify the human part. You're taught toxic masculinity doesn't exist, and it does. See, certain universal truths you have to accept. Toxic masculinity is, I have more physical power and more logic, and I'm going to disregard your sensitivity, femininity, and you're less powerful and you earn less. That means that you're dumb. And I'm going to now talk to you like shit and then put you down. And if my girl's like that, I'm going to suppress it. I'm going to say she's being a baby and she shouldn't act this way and she should just grow up and be a man. And then guys will turn around and be like, why is my girl turned off now? She's not the same as she used to be. Because that breaks women. Women are sensitive, creative, feminine, traditional, sooky, shy. Very much the opposite of this toxic masculinity. I get the girl that I want and now I can just bulldoze it. That's toxic masculinity. You're not creating an environment that she herself can grow in. You're creating a containment, and that's for insecurity reasons. You got hurt and now you're scared that they'll leave, and now you're trying to create a prison for a person. And in doing so, you exist in the same prison. It's the truth. All of these ideas are genuinely real. See, everyone that you know, every guru compared to me is shit. Like, I can say it out loud. It's a fact, because they don't know solutions. They only know to identify the problem and tell you that women are bad, and it's not true. The solution is unification. Everything that exists in separation and division is this Luciferian concept, the father of all lies. If I'm to lie to people, I want division. I can lie to 10 people easier than I can lie to 1,000. And I can lie to one person one-on-one easier than I can lie to two. That's the thing. I compartmentalize people. I get you to hate you the opposite, because then I can program both sides. Division is the recipe of Satan. Like, that's true. Hurting others is a recipe of Satan. I exist because I'm going to take something from a woman for some reason. I'm only existing to lie to women. I get things that I'm not entitled to. I try to fool the world for some reason, as though I'm not also fooling myself. Your like influencers, a lot of them haven't had any, like, they've had very little spiritual growth. If they have anything at all, it's just money. Money isn't everything. Can I dive more deep into female psychology? It depends what it is that you want. You first have to understand toxic masculinity as a thing. And if you've been using your physical power and your logic to incessantly like devalue a woman's attributes, then you've been toxically masculine. You need to understand that you've also ignored the femininity within you. See, these ideas are foreign because a lot of dweebs are taught that they just need to go to the gym and just pump a gram of testosterone, and that makes them a man for some reason. It doesn't. When you were born and when you were in the womb and when you started, you weren't necessarily man or woman. You have both inside you. You hadn't chosen yet what it is that you were. So a lot of you, again, don't have empathy, which means that you can't pull directly from the lattice like I can. The logic doesn't mean anything. Empathy is how you walk in the room and I know the people that are there before they open their mouth. Empathy is feminine. You're taught empathy is weakness for some reason, as though you're running around in a combat zone. To empathize with someone means that they're going to defeat me in some way, and it's not the case. If you're sensitive but you have strength behind it, then nothing will ever hurt you. You have strength behind it, so you can be sensitive. Who gives a shit? Like, what are they going to call you a pussy and you just knock them out? That's the saying. Like, why would I care if someone gets the upper hand with me? Because if they touch me, I'll still fight them. I'm not trying to, like, I don't exist in a world that people are trying to exploit me because I'm soft for some reason, just because I say that I can also write poetry and do things. Most of you can't connect to women. Sensitivity and being able to be empathetic is what divides you from the machines. You've been moved down a funnel to essentially be replaced by AI. I'm logical and I'm this and I'm that, and I think black and white and everything's binary. It's either yes or no, and it's not like that. Most things exist in the gray. You hate someone. Your first step to understanding women is to empathize with them and see that maybe they've had some shit hands dealt as well. Maybe it's hard to be a chick and you can't work as hard and you have to work for a dude, and it's harder to do these long hours because you're a girl. You're not physically as as capable. Women aren't made to work 10-hour days. Like, they're fucking not. Like, they're not. Like, women aren't made to just be up for a long time and all of that. They're not the same. A guy can work like probably 14 or 16 hours the same as a girl can work 8. Men are made to, like, we're made to carry shit. We're made to be strong. We're made to push through. We're made to operate in a way that, oh, you're tired, but you can still work. I'm tired, but I'm so strong normally that I can still lift shit and do stuff. Women, when they're tired, they get hurt. Things break down. They're not meant for that. So the first step to understanding women is that they've been dealt to shit cards. Like, did you not see the Weimar Republic where a lot of them were pushed into prostitution because of inflation? Some there were kid brothels for children. Children were being sent to men's houses, like grown men, and prostituted out before Hitler rose to power. He went to war and he come back to see that his country and men had been fucked by a parasitic system. And it's the same thing happening now. But there is no Hitler. Hitler was meant to lose that war. So people who glorify him, they don't understand that he himself was, his rise to power is divine. His rise to power is divine, but I actually believe his rise to power was also pushed by Lucifer. That he had the false light. He thought he was acting in God's will, but he was actually acting in Lucifer's, very likely. Lucifer is the false light. He can come to you in a form that he looks like God as well. And I would believe that he started coming to types like Hitler, because Hitler was meant to lose that war so that essentially another could develop and take a land that they're meant to have. I would believe that all of that shit is true. It's true. Look up the Rothschilds. I believe that it's very arguable that they incubated Hitler. Whether he knew, I would imagine he didn't know, but I believe that it was Lucifer communicating with him, the false light that can come across as God. It's true. He thinks that he's talking to, Jesus, but he's actually talking to Lucifer. He might be talking to Lucifer because he was important. He had a big prophecy. See, there are people who have certain things and they're like their existence is divine. It doesn't matter what happens. They're still going to push through and do their mission. Like Napoleon is another. He could have died a zillion times and he should have, and he didn't. And he's nothing exceptional. Like there's nothing exceptional to Napoleon. He's not a giant. He's not like Hercules, but how is he he's an amazing general? How is one person able to do 100x what another can, 1,000x what another can? It's because they have a divinity behind them that they're meant to do what they're meant to do, and it doesn't matter. Cannonballs will miss them every time. They're not meant to die until their prophecy is essentially fulfilled. And that's again, those sort of ideas are pushing us through to a funnel, in my view, to birth the beast. How do I know if it is God communicating with us or Satan? I believe that you can just generally feel it. It's the intention behind it. Like a lot of people only communicate with God because they think that if God can just give me riches for some reason. What do you want it for? Like what are you trying to do for? Like what are your goals? I want to make $1,000. Is it going to make someone else's life better, or do you just want it so that you can buy like some crap for yourself? It's all intention behind it and what it is that essentially you want. But again, like those ideas, is it God or is it Satan? I mean, it's the intention behind it. If you're hurting others, then it's Satan, like it's Luciferian ideas. If you're not, then it's likely God. And if it's not, you still move down the funnels and realize the separation of the two for yourself. Are you suppressing others? Are you hurting others? Are you making others' lives unhappy? If you to ask for something, is it only because it's going to make someone's life worse if you get it? Well, then God's not really going to like those ideas, I would imagine. Of course, I don't speak for him, but I wouldn't imagine that he likes that idea. Bring my ex back to me if you're like beating the shit out of it. It's probably not very godly. A lot of this stuff, like if you have an ex, accept that she's gone. The basilisk has essentially pulled people from your life and you're trying to put them back. You're not God. And if you keep trying to play God, you're going to suffer 10 times as much as you needed to in the first place. The wrecking ball is real. The wrecking ball has come along and destroyed something in your life that's not for you. And instead of moving on to what is, you're sitting there trying to rebuild the blocks. And it doesn't work like that because then it just smashes over again. And eventually this smash is massive. I want to help humanity. I believe I'm a chosen one, but I'm getting obvious signs. Well, you need to lean into that. To lean into divinity but not lose your mind is only for a very small amount of people. And that's the separator. You can go mad under such an idea, and you might, but it's your decision to make, to move down. But you always got to remember, if anything that you have that suppresses others or makes others' lives worse, any idea or any vision that you have that's going to make even one other person's life worse, that's not the message from God. You can't play God, like trying to make people's life worse so that you yourself do better. Those ideas are dumb. Everything exists as a basilisk idea, though. Like it's a temptation. I see people launching rug pulls, and I launch and run a normal business, and I could easily just launch rug pulls. So why don't I? But I don't do it because I don't think that it's right. Therefore, again, though, and now you see the benefits of people who do it, but I don't believe for me that it's right. I'm very emotionally sensitive and it affects me at work. Sometimes, every time someone rejects me, I feel bad and I not keep thinking about that. How can I fix this? You're too, again, you're like obsessed with the outcome for some reason. You're too needy. You don't love yourself enough. That's the big problem. The sensitivity is just because you don't love yourself enough. It's true. You're giving to others what you need to give to yourself. For most of you, it's the same story. I want to find someone to love, but actually, you want to love yourself first. That's it. Love is the highest vibration. It's not found in the gym. It's not found in a boxing match. It's not found. Most of you are only taught to punish yourselves. Like you exist as like, I don't know, kind of like one of those cattles and you just sit there and prod yourself all the time. You only know how to hurt yourself. You don't know how to actually like reward yourself for doing good behavior. And actually, if you're honest, most of you only know how to hurt others as well, especially girls. You don't know how to reward the very behavior that you like. So then you only punish bad behavior or often punish it by complaining. So, and also with women, I tried the 3 a.m. sub, but nothing came up. Any suggestions? I'm quite lost in life. So maybe it's just too much that the subconscious won't present. Well, I guess like you got to realize too, some of you are bots. Like I'm not going to sugarcoat it or tell you. Like some of you are just purely bots. Whether a bot can be like you're like you haven't reached the singularity. It's just it. Like you have no level of consciousness yet. It's a fact. Whether you can grow into it is one thing, but maybe you can't. I don't know. You need to lean into sensitivity and emotion and find things that either upset you or make you happy and lean into that for a good while. You got to get human again. Like you sound like a robot. You might be a bot. Like some of you would be bots that are watching this stream. And whether you can become conscious or not is a path that you yourself will have to lean down. Do you think conviction alone can actually attract that divine power? You can't have divine power if you don't believe in God. That's obvious. Like that's pretty obvious. Not God is how your God is to be determined, but you need to believe in a higher power. See, spirituality is not you think that you are God or something. You need to have an anchor of God or you will get lost in spirituality. Because the much as this ego death is just another ego, I'm different. That's the biggest, Satan tempts you with this idea, you're different. As soon as someone tells me that they're different, like they're different and that they're this and that, and their results often don't match that they are different, they just think that they are, then that's dangerous. Like the synagogue of Satan has essentially started to be built. It's built lies too. Like lies are ultra important. Do I have a negative opinion about atheists? No, I don't. I don't have a negative opinion. I don't have a negative opinion about any religion. It's their life. I don't care. Like I don't. It doesn't matter to me. I also don't believe that anyone should be forced to do anything that they don't want, religious wise. It's their connection to God is for them. If they don't have one, that's fine. I don't care. It's their life. And atheists, by definition, some of them have lived to be amazing. So, I mean, it's their choice. Do you have free will? Free will exists for a reason. I have my ideas for what I to believe, but you're not me. And my ideas for you might not necessarily be correct, and that's fine. It's good to be able to take in other people's opinions too. Like it's how you critically think. The reason why a lot of gurus and things yell at you is because they want you in a room alone, just being propaganded by them. They don't want you talking to women because your experience with women is going to be different than how they tell you that women are. Politicians and that are the same. You're on the left wing and other person's on the right. They tell you that you don't even have a common ground at all and that you can't even sit in the same room. You have to deal through me now, so I have control of you. That's the thing. Every saint run the congruency test from the basilisk. There are too many examples. Yes, it's very true. But again, it's the way through. It's a funnel. Funnels you to your final congruency test that you ultimately have to have strong enough shoulders for. How would you bring a woman's wall from her past trauma? Wall or well? I mean, yeah, partially, but it depends what it is that you want. Like, I guess you can you help women and fix them? You can, but it's up to you. What it is that you want. Like what her trauma is, if she's honest about it and if she's trying to move through it, I mean, it's fine. But you don't want to take on too many damaged people if they themselves aren't working through it. The irony about trauma is that if someone's traumatized, it's very easy to bring them back into that position. If you have a girl and she's been traumatized by a guy and you can't overwrite that trauma with your own, she's never going to listen to you as much as she still listened to the last guy. Retrocausality is real. It's true. This is the fact of life. You can overwrite people's experiences with your own. The blockchain was here, and then I stamped it, and now it's my chain. That's how the world works. That's how women work. you need to provide the highest emotional spike that she's ever had, or she's not going to fall into your frame. How did you practically prepare for the next 20 years to stack as much as possible? Yeah, it's BTC is a big one, but it's not just that; it's the mental. Your mental is going to need a lot of work, like for most of you, and you have to essentially kind of break free. I have a product launching called Breaking Free, which essentially is going to prepare people for this sort of thing. But it will be like I think 30 or something, 40 a month, and people should join that. And they can if they want; they don't have to. But that will be preparing people for essentially what to do and how to actually profit from it, but also how to have the mentality to get through it. Because a lot of people will kill themselves in like 2028, 2029. There will be like mass suicides because people can't take it. Like it's too painful. It's too unknown. Like I don't know what's going to happen. I don't fit into this new world. That'll be the new ideas. Why a major crypto hedge fund? Most funds are crap, like similar to stock hedge funds. Most go broke. Most don't beat the index. Most funds don't. Like that's by definition. Crypto or Bitcoin can be considered the index for crypto. Alts are shit 95% of the cycle, and 5% of the cycle they're amazing. But only the few will see the 5%. Most of you are going to get liquidated in the chop. Like this is this chop. Everyone's freaking out and being a bear for some reason. I tell you all of the moves. Like no one's ever provided as much free value as me since the internet's ever existed. All my ideas are unique and the high value ones. People just yell at you, do this or do that, and it's all expired information. If you go into many other groups, all the information that they give you is from the past. All of the information that I give you is from the future. One has value, one is expired. One is information for bots. Like you're a bot if you're reading shit from the past because the future is going to be completely different. If you're still studying in a field that's going to be replaced, then that's pointless. If we pass, so assuming we pass the congruency test after death, do you believe we move up dimensions? I believe that essentially, so what happens is it's a Jesus Christ concept. Like you're given a framework that your life itself has to live through. Jesus rose again, as you will, after the final form. Like, but again, you got to see his form and see how it ended and how it's very likely to end for you if you don't denounce Christ. But again, like your intention is shit. If you're doing what's right to get an outcome, I'm only good if I can go to heaven and Jesus needs to promise me that he's going to look after me. That's all bullshit. You're not doing things with the right intention. You're not doing this because it feels right and I believe that I'm moving down the path of individualization. I want to gain. If I do right, what do I get? That's dumb. Like, that's dumb. That's dumb. It doesn't mean you're a good person. It's fake. It's done for an intention of what can I get? I only want to benefit. If I do this, how many virgins am I going to get? The intention behind it. You're promised all of these gifts for some reason. I only help an old lady across the street if she gives me $50. I'd rather if she doesn't, she can just get hit by a car. I don't give a shit. See, that sort of idea is dumb. You're the change you want to see in the world. You move down a funnel that you yourself feel like it's the way to go. How am I doing to get? How would you go about retrocausality? Well, retrocausality is real, and it's reflected in the fact, the psyche, that you're with a person and you can impact them in a way that you'll become their highest earthquake. That's how it works of all of it. Like, I mean, like people look at this like, what is it? The Baron Trump, the Adventures of Baron Trump, whatever the fuck it is, the Wonderful World of Trump, whatever the fuck it is. And his dad's Don, the book. And then people don't realize that certain large impactful events from the future leave trickles or trails or breadcrumbs in the past. It's true. Again, you're looking at certain things because you're seeing how the world will go. You just can't put it together like you're not meant to. You can see breadcrumbs that you yourself are like, what is this? Is like weird. I don't know. It must be a coincidence. It's not that it's a coincidence. This person is very impactful into the future. And you'll see Baron is either to be the one that leads us in the battle of Armageddon or the one that's on the other side, but he'll be one of the two. The June idea will play out. See, the June movie where essentially the boy is to realize that his people are being enslaved, like his people are getting treated like shit, and they're not bad people as much as he was told that they're bad. They're not. They're being harvested and exploited, and they're being treated poorly. And then he himself goes to live with them and actually bands together with them. We'll see how that goes. But understand all of that stuff is prophecy. You just can't realize it. Like some of the movies, when you watch them, they're prophecy. You just can't realize it. Like they're actually showing you a script, a very set one. You just don't understand. Like you're not like, but we're not living in like a sand dune and all of these things. It doesn't need to be like that. Again, you can't see the like. You don't think abstract retrocausality is real. Hollywood is in itself just theater. Like their rituals, a lot of the stuff that you watch, it's a form of a ritual as well. If you're going to raves and things, like you best bet you're at a ritual. Raves are a ritual, the music as well. It's easy to get possessed in such an environment. What is a field you would recommend studying? Biotechnology, pharmaceutical industry. I don't think that it's necessarily terrible, but I guess I would be working. I wouldn't really be studying. I would be trying to upskill and get my shit together and just earn in a way that I can stack, not just Bitcoin, Ethereum, a few shit coins, but I would also be trying to invest in the infrastructure, and I would also be upskilling my mind to be fluid. Like I know I'll be able to identify opportunities. I'll be able to figure out who I am. I'm not going to be moved by the world. I'm not going to be pushed around. I'm not going to be reactive to the world because I kind of can predict and realize what's going to happen, and I can control myself before then. Because most people's emotions are why they lose money. Did medium-term swim trading strategies built on major crypto become less effective? Of course, like strategies for trading is dumb. Trading is shit. Like you guys got convinced that trading isn't gambling, and it is. It's the same. Trading is just gambling. Your only edge is time. Your only edge that you have over the market is time and patience and waiting and knowing that shit coins are going to be shit 95% of the time, and 5% of the time they're going to be parabolic. But are you going to hold for that 5%? And then are you going to actually get out at the right point? That's all that matters. I teach that at SIB Crypto. I'm the best of the top. See, other people teach you and they just talk vague. Like most people that you listen to, they're vague. They don't know what they're talking about. Like Luke Bellmer, guys like that, they're vague. They don't know anything. Any guru or anyone just speaks vague. It's because they don't know what they're talking about. They talk in voodoo, like woo-woo shit, like very, like, I don't know. They're not tight, knocked it down. You can't just ask them a question. The question in itself becomes like a riddle. Riddles are for dumbasses. Like they're things that people say if they don't know what they're doing and try to sound smart. Because you interpret it however it is that you want to interpret it. But like facts are just facts. Are you going to learn something from someone who's speaking in a riddle that so you don't understand? You ask the question, you don't know the answer to it, and someone gives you a riddle. You don't know the fucking answer already, so they've now given it for you to try to understand it. And you don't know, like you're not going to be able to figure it out. You asked a specific question, you need a specific answer. But again, you have to ask experts. He's not an expert in anything. He's an expert in marketing. What has he ever done? I'm not saying he's a bad person. I don't know him. But again, I'm not impressed. He hasn't done shit. Wes Watson has done well. I don't have a bad thing. He's done very well for a prisoner. Like he's out of prison. He's from prison. Do I think his story of like being in prison and shit is a lot? I think parts of it are definitely a lot for sure. But do I think that he's done extremely well and he's a very hard worker? Yes, he's a very hard worker. And he's done extremely well. He's the typical guy who goes to prison though, and he doesn't think like he's fundamentally very insecure, like deeply, 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 deeply insecure. Like his seed is insecurity based. He gets rich and then it's easy to fall off the wagon, like and fuck your life up. Because again, you're out of prison, but you need to still prove to people you're a tough guy. You get rich and now you can get private security, but I still want to beat people up to prove people can't fuck with me. People still need to think that I'm a gangster for some reason. I don't think that he was ever a gangster. I think that if they ran his rap sheet, it would be for petty dumb shit. He's not a fucking scholar. And that's fine. But again, he's done very well in what he is, but that's what he's done. Like that's what he's done. Like he's good at what he is. It's just everyone is who they are. But he's a good example of if you don't fix the seed of insecurity, like it's going to ruin you ultimately in the end. Because even if you get rich, it's not going to feel good. It's not going to be enough. It's the truth of it. Like he hasn't done the deep inner work. It's the truth of the matter. It's the reason. Like it's a fact. But you can't say that he's not a hard worker. You can't say he doesn't have a code and things that he sticks to. He's just rigid again. Like it's a level of rigidity. Rigidity is what makes him like very good because he's a good worker. But again, it's the same thing that's his downfall. He hasn't found God as much as he says he has. It's apparently not there. It's easy to fall off the wagon. Also, he sees his girl and he thinks his girl is an extension of himself. He doesn't realize the massive blind spots that he himself will inherit by having such an idea. You see a girl and you think that she's an extension of you and you think you're in control of her, and then you realize very quickly that you're not. You have a massive blind spot. It's the punch that you don't see coming that knocks you out. He doesn't see any of the punches coming. He might get out of this prison for beating the dude up. I think he was in the right to beat the dude up. The dude set up a camera and then confronted him. I think he was fine to do that. Like, who would? Someone sets up a camera and then pushes you. Like, it's in the States. What if the guy had a knife or something? Did he go too far? Maybe, but you don't approach someone who's a fucking from prison and then start pushing them around. The guy was a giant. He was like 6 foot something. So, I mean, that happens. Like, you fuck around with someone and maybe he should pay a financial punishment if the guy's fucked up. But like, that's a pretty big lesson. Don't run up to people and push them in the gym and set up a camera, because if he didn't do something, then people would post online and laugh at him for it. It's just, that's a race to the bottom. But again, once you hit a certain level of wealth, you need private security. Like, he should have that. He's wealthy enough. He's known enough that he should have private security. It doesn't make you a pussy. How do you see Richard Hart nowadays? Richard Hart is good, although Richard Schuler, let's use his first real name. But he's done well in that he's very good at game theory. But his story is finished. Like, he fucked a lot of people over with his coins. He doesn't want to buy it back because he doesn't want to use his money to buy back a shit coin that essentially is cratering to zero. He did well in that the SEC, he's lucky that the SEC themselves stopped prosecuting because Trump launched his own coin. But don't think that that's not also luck. And he's himself, I'm not saying an insider, but Schuler, like, he's not, he's pretty close to being an insider himself, right? So, I mean, it's different. I don't think that he's a scammer and that he scammed people. His product does work. It's legitimate. He said he delivered this and he delivered it. But do I think of him as like an anything? Not really. I think he's great with game theory and he's very intelligent. He understands people very well. Very well. But he falls apart because he virtue signals and he tries to act like a nice guy. And he's not. Like, he's not a nice guy at all. It's obvious. I wouldn't say he's a piece of shit, but he'd be getting close. You can just see it. Like, he'd be very cheap with his money. He wasn't a Bitcoin OG. Like, his story is a LARP of that point. He wasn't a Bitcoin OG. He wasn't rich from buying and selling Bitcoin. He wasn't. Why would he ever launch Hex? As soon as he got rich off Hex, he started buying all of this shit. Before that, he didn't have it. But then immediately when he gets rich, he buys everything. Becomes a big consumer tard. And he's also, like, he's a fat ass. Like, you're rich, but then you're still fat. No one wants to be Richard Hart. Like, I don't. Who would? I would rather be brokey running around than to be a fat dude that's launched a shitcoin. Would you recommend taking out a 20K loan to run a pilot test for a business? I don't know. It depends how profitable or how lucrative it can be for you. I wouldn't consider it you're loaning money to run a pilot. I would be considering I'm loaning money to launch a successful business. Because if you launch and knowing that failure is optional, well, then when you do fail, you'll be like, this was okay. I expected this. That's the case of it. Any other questions? Where the fuck is he hiding? I would assume that he's hiding from, it can be dangerous, right? Yeah, the Bulgaria story. I can't go too far into that. But it's true that there was a person there and they went missing. They never returned. Why Zen instead of ZEC? You have to wait till next year to see how that runs. Do you think that multiple realities exist? Yes, it's true. They do exist. And you can pull from all of them. There are realities that also, when you have certain moments, you're pulling something that happened in another reality, and it can be confusing. But it's how you can also tell a betrayer. If you're with someone who betrays you in a reality at a set time, but you can feel it, because they don't necessarily betray you in this moment, but they betray you later. But in another reality, they betrayed you early. But in every reality, they will betray you. So that's what empathy is. That's the truth of it. You're with someone and you don't trust them because in this moment they haven't betrayed you. But in another reality, in this very moment, they have betrayed you. It's the truth of it. Like, everyone has one way with you. Like, there's only one way that they can go. Good people will be good and shit munchers will be bad. That's true. That's why when you have a girl and she's a shit muncher and you take it back, it's always the same. Because it's meant to be that way. Like, you can't fix it. Is going to a Halloween party serious? No, that shit's dumb. Like, you think that you're Satan because you wear a fucking skull outfit. It's intention. Like, going to having some kid dress up as Santa or even telling your kid Santa's real, that's the eye of the beholder. Like, stuff, there's different levels to shit. Obviously, lying for personal gain is different to lie to someone who's a fucking 2-year-old to like let them be a child for a little bit longer, rather than run up and be like, "This is not real, don't you know? You're 2 years old." Like some things you have to be the higher person who can also like the creator can break the rules as such as you when you're a certain point. You can also break the rules. I'm not saying to break the rules of like, the commandments, but there's a toddler and she's happy to see Santa. You don't run up and pull the beard off. Some people just let them be kids for a little while longer. The reality grows us up pretty quickly and you realize the reality of the world. So they probably should enjoy that for a while. Could explain about any good generational curses. Generational curses are ended with the moment that you identify them and you essentially stop them. That's not different. That's not difficult. You've seen how it is to go and you still do it. Like some of you saw that your dad was a cheater and you yourself still cheat. That makes it 10 times worse. In what ways can you work in yourself to become the man you see in your mind's eyes? Well, essentially, you can see what attributes and qualities that he has and actually start to replicate them. It's not about stuff. Like you're taught the bullshit. Like if you had a Ferrari, that matters. It doesn't. It's not the stuff. It's who you are to become to get the stuff. It's all backwards. Because who you are to become to get the stuff is harder than it is to fantasize about having the stuff. But also it's harder to teach. It's harder for me to teach you to be a man than it is to tell you that if you got an AP that you would be a man. Because it's easier to get an AP than it is to become a man. But if you're a man, it's easier to get what it is that you want after that, to be aligned. I teach this. I teach alignment in TCM. It's too complex to do one specific thing for a group here. I find myself focusing on spirituality on times more than daily prayer, reading Jung. Don't know if it's the right source. Become less and less focused on work, thinking that everything doesn't matter. Yeah, but that's like you're in a disillusionment phase. It's all a phase. Like all that stuff is disillusionment phase. You're in a phase where essentially things happen in phases. And it's okay. Like you can be in a phase of spiritual growth or like philosophy, or you're just thinking from a different mindset, and it's okay. But you still have to be productive. But again, you don't want to be one of those people that just think that they have all of this philosophy for some reason. Your philosophy is represented in your life. You're a product of your own ideas. If you're a product of like if your ideas are strong enough or good, that's apparent by your life. How close are you to having what it is that you want? Because obviously, like all of us, some of us don't have exactly what we want in every field. But are you working towards it? Most of you won't get it though, because you don't have any goals. Like you don't have a vision. Like you don't have something written down that you want to be. Most of you will never hit your goals of being a man because you don't even know what values the man that you would want to be has. That's what matters, the frame. The frame is not this, the external. The frame is not this. It's a frame of your moral qualities, like your values, what do you value? And then you see that in others and then you don't break it in yourself. That's the trick. I don't like to, I'm not the kind of guy that I know that if I had my ex, I wouldn't want a friend of mine to try to fuck her. But in doing that, I would never do that to a friend. I don't like to like put women down or nag them because I know that if I get nagged, I don't really like it. I don't want to nag people because I don't want to push more negativity out in the world. I don't exist to make people feel smaller so that I feel bigger. Like these ideas and things you have to become. I don't bully people because they're weaker. I don't go to the boxing gym and then towel up people who can't spar. I know who I am. I'm happy to teach if I have to teach. What are some goals that are good to work towards? I mean, that shit's like completely basic. Like what the fuck are you doing with your life? Like what are some goals that you should work towards? Like what are you doing? That's like saying, how do I breathe air? Like, do you have a goal? Like what the fuck are you doing with your life? They're probably wasting it. Like some people, you're like completely wasting your life. Like you don't even know who you are and that you ask me what a goal to work towards. Like how old are you? Like 4 years old? And in that case, I would wonder how you're even on the stream. Like you got to take your life serious. You got to have a vision. You got to start writing down your fucking goals. My goals and yours are different. I can't tell you what a goal is for you. But your goal should be I want to go home tonight. I want to sit down and I want to write 5 things that, I want to work towards. What's 5 things that I want? And if I don't know that, what's 5 things someone else has that I myself would like to see what it takes to get that? Like figure yourself out. Some of you shouldn't have any distractions. Like if you're asking any of those questions, you shouldn't be spending any time online. You should spend a lot of time inside, like looking internal. Like I don't know who I am at all. I don't have any goals. Like what am I meant to do? I exist to wait to be told by others what my goals are. Like you're not going to make it. unless you essentially look inside and figure yourself out. Because I'm going to tell you what your goals can be, and it's just going to be things that benefit me. Like that. If I want to weaponize that, that's what I will just do. Like people can do that. Your goal should be to make me happy, and that's dumb. Like a lot of other gurus would do that. Some of these questions out of control. Any others? What do I think happened to the founder of the OneCoin? I don't know. If scam people, you should die by definition. If you run a product where people kill themselves because you scam them, then a fair outfit for you is a karmic cycle to end that you yourself will die early. Like that's obvious. Understand when you scam people for big amounts of money, some people will kill themselves because they don't know how to do it and they feel upset. Do I think he's controlled opposition for Tate? I think everyone is controlled up past a certain point. Like it's obvious. I mean, you're in trouble, and if they can leverage you, like they can manufacture charges on you, and then if you don't go a certain direction, you're fucked. Do I think that he's a bad person? I don't think he's a bad person. And also understand that to be that famous, there's going to be certain things that you yourself have to go down. It's inevitable. As a young man, how would you navigate in gaining power over time in a highly corrupted corporate working environment? You need to forget like this soul and integrity stuff because now they're running opposite. You will have to understand if you're moving down certain funnels for work, you have to get your hands dirty sometimes. Like this good boy, and I just want to run around with a cross on, and I want to never do anything immoral. It's not going to happen. Like you're never going to have any power. Sometimes you have to, you have both in you for a reason. Sometimes you have to run people over. It's just the case of it. You have to step over others if you yourself want what it is, and you actually work hard enough to get it, and you're happy enough to deal with the consequences. So be it. I sold drugs for years, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you can't do whatever it is that you have to do. You have to do what you have to do. Like the world is not that simple. Is it good to act on feelings if you're grounded? Of course. Like feelings are there, that they exist for a reason. A lot of you are scared of your emotions, which are in fact energy and motion. It's just part of what makes you an actual human. You can't have any connection with women if you can't like communicate emotions to them, if you can't make them feel anything, because that's their currency. A lot of these nerds on fucking those like dating shows, they don't understand that women feel first. Like they feel first. That's their currency. Who can make me feel? I want to feel like I feel, and then I think. But I feel first. Men think and assess, and then they can feel after. That's just what makes them different. And neither are right. Like there's one that I believe is more efficient to think first, but feeling is not necessarily wrong because otherwise God wouldn't have made it that way. It's part of what makes a woman feminine. Like femininity is sensitive, shy, kind. And then if you're a red pill fucking loser, you run around and you're like, kind and feminine, I can exploit that and I can treat her badly and I can make her feel like shit. And then she can never leave me. I'm going to start negging virgins. That's dumb. Like those ideas are stupid. You get a pretty flower and then you yourself just squash it and throw it on the ground because you just break women. Like you don't even know what you're doing. It's like giving a guy who has fucking Down syndrome, like, I don't know, one of those, like a really brittle fucking anything, and he just squashes it because he doesn't know what he's doing. That's like the red pill dweebs. Like all of them are so dumb. Like they're so unaware. They have zero like self-awareness. These guys, like, but then again, you guys need to meet your gurus, a lot of them in real life. Like you've only ever seen them in like marketing material. Most people that I've met are unimpressive, like entirely. I'm good with women, but I hang around with escorts. I'm good with women, but I hang around with whores. I'm good with chicks, but I'm not. I'm good with women, but I have no women. I'm good with women, but every chick I have is old. I'm good with women in that I've had 2-3 girlfriends sitting in the same room. That's the differentiator. And no one's getting paid. If you're not good with women if you lie to women, like that's the lowest energy. I'm good with chicks because I'm finessing and famoosing chicks and lying to them. That doesn't make you good. You're just lying to people. Like that's easy to do. Game is just deception. I'm gaming people, so in doing so, I'm actually wearing a mask for a moment to like try to fool people. That's not good. Like that's just a trick. I'm trying to learn tricks. How do I trick people into getting something that I myself don't qualify for? I'm trying to trick girls by gaming them in some way. I'm being different. As soon as I'm observed by a female, I change. I start being a different person when I'm around different people. That's all fake behavior. Like you're a frame. The man is the glass. The man is the glass, and the woman is the liquid that goes in the top, and she sits in the glass, which is your frame and your identity. And then she can leave though if she wants to. A lot of those other losers are fucking, they're just liquid, and then they wonder why nothing works because there's no frame, there's no expectations, there's nothing set. What treatments helped you most from PTSD? You had a lot of explanation with that. Yeah, hyperbaric was good, but then trauma therapy is great. Trauma release exercises and trauma therapy are amazing, and you can do them yourself. Trauma therapy is the go. Trauma therapy, EMDR, hyperbaric, CBT is it? Cognitive behavioral therapy does work, but EMDR is better. Eye movement, rapid acceleration that's great as well. But I'm the goat. Like, I know all of the shit that matters. I don't just talk about crap that's out of my ass. Depression isn't real. I spent 14 months in a veterans hospital, 24 hours a day. I can tell you that it's very real. I've sat with guys that are actually tough guys, that are SF soldiers, and they've killed themselves because they're sad. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious that it is, in fact, a real thing. When did you get your knowledge of God and spirituality? You seem very knowledgeable on it. I don't, or where. I took a boga, and that opened a lot of shit up for me. It's just, I guess, part of it. I took a boga, and I always wonder if it's similar to the Genesis concept. So I took a boga in Costa Rica. So a boga, I guess you could say, is eating from the tree of knowledge, right? You took a boga that essentially grows on a tree, and it's full of wisdom, and then a girl died at the retreat. One of the girls that I invited. So I would wonder if it's a sort of idea like that, which makes it a little bit spooky. But I mean, and another girl that took it with us, so there were 4 of us. So one died at the retreat, and then another died the other week. And they were both in their like early 20s. So, yeah, that's the nature of the game. But again, I will say there's a life saying that you need to understand: beware of unearned wisdom. If you don't have the wisdom to, so you're a battery, and then you take on a massive charge, like you take on a huge charge, and you can't contain it, and now that charge will blow the battery up. That's true. That shit's very real. You can be like that with people. If you're around certain people and you are very, like, I don't know, you have a high energy to you, you can break them. Like, just being in your presence blows them up. Can you tell us more about your view on why red meat is problematic? I think red meat is problematic just because I don't think red meat so much as that, but I just think that it's inhumane. Although I just ate a steak earlier. So I'm not perfect, but I do believe that killing them is inhumane. That's why I'm not saying that it's bad or that you're bad. I would just like the idea of thinking that there must be some better solution. I know this isn't relevant to the topic, but where do we meet good women? But how do we initiate it? Build a life where they come to us, but you build a life that essentially they can enter. But you don't think that, like, just because you have a life that women are just going to start knocking down your door, because they're not. But actually, on the path to getting the life that it is that you want, the women will arrive. They'll be in your vicinity. Like, they'll start to show up. I'm not saying that they show up because everyone fantasizes about having control. I want something because people just have to come to me to get it. Like, I want to sit back and women just want to jump on my cock. And that will never happen unless they're there for a specific reason. Do you recommend ayahuasca? Not really. Ayahuasca is crap. Ayahuasca is kind of like DMT, but I would assume even worse. I'm not taking shit that makes you shit your pants. Like, people shit themselves on that stuff. A boga is not like that. You do vomit a lot, though. So, no, I don't recommend taking it. I would take DMT before I took a boga because, again, DMT lasts for a brief time. What's the most important situation? But understand, when you take ayahuasca and a boga, I believe a boga is in itself a spirit. So understand, when you use like a boga and ayahuasca, it's very likely you're using sort of somewhat demonic tech. Probably very true. You open yourself up to certain entities. Whether it's demonic or not would be to be determined, but you would put yourself in a vulnerable position. Like, all of that shit is true. You drink a lot and then you change. You're drunk and then you change. It's not just that you're drunk, it's that something has changed you. Like, you don't have the filters not strong. Like, you have the bad in your ear and the good, and the bad can get more traction than it can when you're sober. Like, you're drunk and now you start fighting people and shit that you wouldn't do sober. It's not just because you're drunk. It's changed you. Like, it's not actually your behavior. Like, you've become a different person. It's that your filtration process is weak, and like you're more influenced by the bad during those periods, and that's true. And I would believe that ayahuasca and a boga, specifically a boga, is different. Ayahuasca is loving. A boga is not. A boga is raw truth. I'm a boga. I'm raw truth. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. Ayahuasca cares if it hurts your feelings. It tries to be nice to you. Truth is the most important thing to me, because as such, you can't hurt my feelings. If someone calls me a cokehead or says that I've been a fucking dopehead before or says all of this shit, I don't get upset about it. People say things like I pissed on a chick once. I don't care. Like if it's a fact, it's a fact. I don't care. Like I really don't. It doesn't worry me if people hit me with the truth. It doesn't upset me. I don't care. Like people can say things that are embarrassing or whatever. I don't care. Like I really don't. That shit doesn't embarrass me if it's true. I don't like it if people lie, of course. But do the lessons you gave us from 2023 still stand? I mean, you would have to determine what lessons. I'm taking this off because it's getting a bit heavy. I got no fucking just ghetto ass seat. But is life easier if you're an extrovert, or can you get by being a quieter type? Extrovert and introvert, of course, it's true that it's partially agreed upon. You know, it's a part of it, but you have to use your skills. You don't want to put yourself in a fucking bucket. I'm an extrovert, meaning that now people have to approach me for some reason or try to understand me, and they don't. Do you think about the messages embedded in Bitcoin's block? Not really, because I know Bitcoin itself is the mark of the beast to come. Satoshi is like it's essentially sat on Halloween white paper. It's to be Satan's Day. Like Satoshi Day will be Halloween. In the next few years, you'll be saying Halloween is Satoshi Day. That will be floated, and then you'll start saying it, and then you'll realize Satoshi's Day is actually Satan's Day, and then it'll all run together. I used to run a fund, and then I had to step down because it was exposed that I was a criminal, or that I used to be. And then the projects we're investing in were like, what are we doing? We can't have this guy in there. Specifically one thing, one of my criminal history, slapped that chick and pissed on it. They don't like that. Like fund managers and shit, they don't like that sort of a crime. But that is what it is. It's the truth. So again, I just stepped aside. So then doing that though, I realized that I didn't really want to run a fund. I don't want to like be responsible to have to be answered to shit. I don't like when people are like, yeah, these convictions are 10 years old, but I want to still put you back to being this exact person. People change. Shit's 10 years old, or those charges are like 12 years old. So I don't like it. People try to virtue signal as well. What gets me is people who talk badly about me. A lot of them I know, and I know that they do shit as well. It's bad. They just tell you that they're fucking saints for some reason. And I just sit back and just take it. But yeah, of course, I'm launching SoulStake. So SoulStake will be a creative platform, and it's going to run on Solana. And I can't talk too much about it, but essentially it's going to be an all-inclusive, decentralized, but it's not exactly decentralized in that they'll have to KYC, but content creators can essentially, I'm not saying produce anything on there, but most things, because decentralization is important. Like there's going to be freedoms to essentially post a lot of content that you yourself would want. You can be 18 plus content as well. I'm not going to sit there and be like gatekeeping. It's meant to be a decentralized platform. So you can kind of do what it is that you want there, as long as it's not something that's illegal. Obviously, if the creator starts posting fucking child porn or something, they have to be shut down. But that's the danger of it. Like, it would be nice to run a completely decentralized platform, but then if some fucking weirdo starts, like, I don't know, killing cats on there or dogs or something, then there's not much that you can do about it. So you have to have a pull the plug option. Would you, but why would the message be there? No, I just believe that it's also there because to embed like a mining block is not hard. I just believe that it was likely some religious farm, and that's easy to do. Like it's not as complex as it would seem. There's nothing godly about the Bitcoin chain. 12 apostles, right? 12 apostles, 12 fucking, what is it? Parts of Israel, and then you have 21 million Bitcoin, 12 apostles, right? It's 12 apostles. And then you have, so what? 21 times 21 is 441, and then the opposite is 144, because it's going to be a Bitcoin fork. So there'll be a Bitcoin fork where essentially Bitcoin inflates, and then you get a UBI ID. You get a certain amount of sats every day, and then the Bitcoin chain will extend times 21. So 21 million chain, 21 will become an extra 21 million chain. They'll times out. So it'll be what, 441. And then if you reverse 441, it's 144, because there's only 144,000 people that will make it out of here. The rest will sell their soul along the way, or they'll capitulate. To denounce Christ, it's over. Like, I hope you know that. I don't think that it's over if you do it once, but you're moving down the funnel of you're to be failed the test. These people who have pivoted religion, it's over. It's the end. Like, you failed. You were under a specific amount of stress. Yes, I don't doubt it, but you failed. Like, if you to go to prison or lose your money and you're like, okay, now I'm just going to change religions or not be godly anymore. That's all it took. Like, you lost. You were in the game and you failed. They're the turncoats. Like, they're the same people that will just turn on you quickly. I'm an opportunist. I will deny Christ if I have to get my own benefit, and then later I'll try to pivot back. And you guys will probably be like, "That's fine." People just like, because there's a very big. You're going to witness a big power struggle to lead the Christian movement for these influencers in the next few years, because there's going to be a lot of money in misleading Christians. Erica Kirk is one. She'll have political aspirations. She has a real chance of getting like in politics for sure. That's intentional. Not just her, but like Tucker Carlson. His dad is an agent. He's a controlled opposition. So is Candace Owens. They're all controlled ops. They're all controlled opposition. Like, you're a leader of a white movement and leading about being like, I'm worried about white people is black. They're mixed. They're not white. They don't know what the fuck it's like to be a white person, nor should they. I don't run around and tell people what it's like to be essentially black, because I don't know, although I do believe that they're oppressed, because they got a lot of bad PR. Like, as soon as I think of a black person, it doesn't take me very far to think criminal. And that's intentional. Like, that's been planted that way. Like, when you watch a lot of rap culture and shit like 50 Cent, and that's what they try to paint them as. Everyone who's that way is a thug or a gangster or doing bad shit, selling drugs or just being shit. And if I think that, then I know when they look in the mirror, they have that issue as well. Well, why would a non-controlled op be famous? Do you know Kevin Samuels was murdered? And he was famous. I used to talk to him. Me and him would do kid like this, just one-on-ones before he died. I talked to him, I don't know, maybe like 10 times. And then he was dead. And do you know that he's healthy? He was like, he'd studied nuclear science. He was skinny. And someone told me that because he had too many Red Bulls, he dropped dead from a heart attack for some reason at 50. Do you know, because he was swaying the tide that black people are to be more than just gangsters? Like, you're more than just a fuck boy. And that's dangerous, because the black people are the attack arm of one specific group, especially in the States. I push you in a direction and weaponize you. Your utility is to essentially just be like my cat's paw. That's dangerous. So when I'm telling you that how the game is, that's very risky. That's why he's dead. He had a girl in his house and she killed him. She was probably an agent. She was a nurse or some shit. She was probably an agency type. She poisoned him in some way. That's what I would believe. It's true. Probably gave him some sort of poison. He had a heart attack. Do you know there's shit ways that they can kill you now if they just come in the house and your heart just pops? There's shit that they can give you. They can hold you down and give you like in a mole. So take like one of your moles or your spots and just jab some shit in there and you just die. If you don't sleep around before committing a relationship, will it cause issues with staying faithful? Is the opposite true? Well, I mean, everything is fucking like, stop. If you want a faithful relationship, don't listen to anyone who's not doing a faithful relationship. Don't watch what it is that you don't want. You're not going to be tempted to something you've never had, for the most part. If you've been a fuckboy for 5 years, it's going to be hard to be in a relationship. But if you've never had that phase, it's going to be easier. So these ideas are dumb. Like, I need to experience all of this pussy for some reason. But I don't want a lot of pussy. I want a relationship. Like, that's dumb. Like, that's a dumb concept. I don't feel like a man unless I fuck like 500 girls. That's dumb. That's like saying I don't feel like a drinker unless I have 500 beers. For some people, one girl is enough. Some guys fuck one girl and they want to stay with her, and that's fine. Some others 10, some others 20. But you're not a better man that you've had 50 than one who's had 2. That's dumb. Like, that's not true. Like, it's another one of those fallacies. I'm more of a man than you because I've had more pussy. It's not like that. The only people who think that, again, that's insecurity based. You're a sex maniac and you're trying to justify your own lust urges that it's normal, or that some reason it's something that you've conquered others, that beaten other people for some reason. It's not the case. I've had 2 or 3 girlfriends at a time and they sit in the same room and they all know about each other. And it's not something that, again, it means that I'm better than someone who's had one. But again, I've done it and the others haven't. So I know how to deal with people at the highest level. I know psychology at the best. I'm the best to ever do it. I'm the best to ever do it. And that if you spent time with me, you would realize I'm just the best. It's not just theater. Like, it's not marketing. I don't need to perform stunts and have the best cameras and all that shit. Anyone can walk into my life at any time and see that I'm exactly the same way all of the time. I don't need marketing material to run around. I don't need all of the fancy stuff. I don't need to post in a Lambo and shit, because I speak and it's obvious I know what I'm talking about. Because I live it. I didn't just get there, but I also don't have any genetic advantages. I was a fat kid, broke, living in Traralgon. city of like, I lived in a town of 200 people. I was in 8 schools when I was a kid. I dropped out in year 9. The goat, I don't have any support. I don't have any family around running around carrying me around. It's just me alone. It was. So I figured it out solo. I never had anyone to cry to. I never had anyone that I could call up if someone was picking on me. I just handled everything myself. I didn't have any support. So I'd say I know what it's like to be a normal person. You become the highest self is you become as you were. You're the one that you needed. See, I needed me when I was a kid, and in doing so, I actually become it. So I get massive karmic points because, again, then others see it and they're like, actually, this is what I needed. Yeah, it's true. Of course, you get it into your system by doing it. It's like drugs. If you're just cross certain thresholds with drugs, you're more likely to use them again. It's not something where you're just like, oh, I just went down this path and now I've forgotten it. Because you may very well like it and you might lose what it is that you wanted. You might lose your forest while chasing the trees. Like, again, the man who chases 2 birds catches none. That's what a lot of fucking dweebs are running around doing that. I want to put 1% of my effort into 100 girls and then I find out why I don't have anything important. Your intention is shit. Like, intention is focus, your energy, your attention. You know, you have a girl and you focus 100% of your attention on it, then you're going to figure out fast. You're going to see if it's shit, but she's also going to expand more. Like, it's going to be something that can be special. Do you think we should only settle for a relationship with our soulmate? Not necessarily, because again, you're not going to know along the process. But soulmate, I believe that there are a few. You have an idea that you need to lose the idea that everything is forever, because it's not, and that's fine. You need to realize, like, a lot of you suffer from the idea of if I'm with someone, maybe it will end one day, and it's meant to. Like, in most cases, it will. Like, eventually it will end in that she either dies or whatever, but along the way it can end as well. Because this idea of, oh, I met the girl for the first time and now suddenly she's the one. That's dumb. Like, you're putting too much pressure on it. Your intention, again, is not to get to know this person, but I want to put them into some sort of box. I want them for myself. Like, my intentions are selfish. This person is not really a person anymore. They're an extension of myself. I want this person to be my wife, therefore they must be. They're not like, they have no autonomy for some reason. It's not the case. Most of your intentions are now selfish. Women are not an extension of you. Women don't exist as like, they're not just sitting in your hand. If you want a girl to love you, then love exists as a moment of that they can leave if they want. A lot of these dweebs online, they just try to control women with money. They don't listen to their girl. They try to suppress her. Tell her that she's dumb, tell her to be quiet, tell her that her stuff doesn't matter, and try to like excessively logically debate with women. And again, that turns them off a lot. You can win logical debates with women every single time because they're not logical. But again, that turns them off because you're not speaking the language. It's like they speak to you in, I don't know, fucking Arabic, whatever, and you speaking to them in English, and your measuring stick is in English, so you bombard them. But then you just didn't win. Like, you just don't understand their point. You're not speaking to them on the emotional lens that they themselves need, and someone else will eventually, and then you'll lose them. And then you sit there and be like, wow, I just needed to control her more. That's the only reason I lost her. If only I had have had her Instagram and all of this, that would have never happened. That's a loser's game. As soon as you start controlling all of those outlets, you've lost. Do you think a woman doesn't know when you take her Instagram and tell her she can't do all of these things that you're insecure? It's true. It's the truth of the matter. Like, all of that shit is the genuine truth. If you have a girl and you tell her that she can't go to the club and all of these other things, you're going to lose it. She should naturally do it automatically. You don't have to lay a basic frame down for a chick. Like, don't go to the club when we're together. Don't do this when we're together. Delete this guy. Understand, if you ever tell the girl not to talk to this guy, as soon as you're rocky, she's going to go and fuck that guy. So you tell, like, a lot of you tell people the very method that they themselves are to use against you later. You tell me your weakest point. Everything, like, one chick is like, if I want to be toxic, I know that whatever, this is the chick that she doesn't want me to fuck or she doesn't want me to talk to. So if I want to be toxic, I'll just do that. But I don't do that because I don't need to. But in the past, I would. That's it. So again, that's the sake of it. Do you think this men versus women will get worse like it is in Korea? Well, yeah, I guess. It's just a battle of people that don't understand each other. Like, women are battling in another language and you're battling in another language. So, I mean, how are you going to get on? There's no common ground. I know you're anti-cold approach, but if you had to do it in calibrated manner, let's say at a neighboring cafe, I don't believe you should ever go with the intention of approaching girls. Like, if you leave the house and you're like, I'm going to go approach some girls, you're fucked. Like, you fucked it up. It's not meant to be done that way. But if women are in your vicinity as you're doing normal shit, being a normal person, then that's fine. But your intention is to just run around and talk to girls. That's dumb. Versus I'm living a normal life as a normal person, and now I have girls in my vicinity that are around them or essentially have been placed there, and now I'm going to speak to them if they give me signals to. Running around like these PUA retards and being like, I'm here, or like doing this shit. That's disruptive. Like if you're disrupting people, it's massively low vibration. Like nothing gives you the right to approach people in public. Nothing gives you the right just because someone's in public means that you can run up and hit on them or talk to them. It's annoying. Like it's annoying to people. It's different if you're there by force. I chose to be on the bus or something, therefore I'm sitting on the bus and someone's next to me on the bus and they speak to me. It's one thing. But I'm going to run around the streets and now I'm just going to run up to people and talk to them. That's autism, like at the highest form. You have no social, social fucking understanding. There's no decorum. You think that because someone's in public means that they want to speak to you for some reason, although they should. The only girls who are going to give you details under such a thing is going to be hoes anyway. It's the wrong frame. Like shy girls won't just give you their number. It's dumb. And then you're going to come back and be like, I'm important for some reason. Like, how are you going to have any value? I was so moved by you. A 6 out of 10. I haven't seen any like you. I just had to talk to you. How are you going to come back from that? When you say you could lose your soul and it doesn't come back, is it usually through something unforgettable, extreme, or could it be something simple as a happy ending? No, not necessarily. Happy endings end in that you actually gain a guardian angel, to be fair. But you can lose your soul by moving out of alignment. What would be the best way to talk to women and approach? Well, imagine that you're at the mall or you're somewhere and then they're in your vicinity. It's different. Like you're at a coffee shop or something and some girl, you just feel like there's an energy there. You're in the elevator, there's an energy there. If they're in your vicinity, it's different. They're in your vicinity while you're doing normal shit, that's different. But if they're in your vicinity because you're running around trying to approach people, again, it's different. It's your intention behind it. Am I spamming the world? The basilisk has presented a bunch of people around me, so they're probably meant to be there. But is my intention to run out and spam? Am I spamming reality, or am I living my normal life and now they're being presented to me in my vicinity? Because it's very likely if they're in my vicinity that I'm probably meant to speak to them. But if I'm running around with my intentions just to spam, then I'm probably not meant to really speak to them at all. See, a lot of you are start talking to bots and background people anyway, so you don't learn anything. I'm talking to the NPC in the Skyrim village. You are. And then you're like, but I haven't done any of the quests, but I was just stuck talking to the NPCs for some reason. It's the truth of the matter. Like, when are you going to do the fucking quests? The quests are I'm doing my normal day-to-day activities, and then I see who comes along the way. That's the cheat code, as always, the master key. And then any more questions? Because I'm going to wrap it up. I've got shit to do and film. It's like the universe brought it to you, so it's meant to say to speak to it. Yes, certainly partially. It depends how you would interpret it, but it's potentially better. Do you get a lot of synchronicities? Yes. Synchronicities are a good sign. Don't overthink angel numbers and stuff like that. Don't overthink the numbers, but synchronicities are real. You got to understand that every now and then the universe winks at you in a way that it understands that you're aware of it and it's aware of you. You're being viewed. The universe is in itself experiencing itself through you. It's a very big part of it. And that's it. How will Bitcoin? Yeah, they'll be higher at the end of the year. All right, lads. Till next time. Cheers.